So here we are in the garage. This is part 3 of the restoration of this 1997 Honda CRX Del Sol, whichever part of the world you're in. Just going to give you a quick walk around the vehicle just to let you know where we're up to and what bits and pieces we've looked at already. Let's go to the engine bay. So I've not really started any work up here. You might spot here missing suspension. Taking the rocker cover off. I'm going to refurbish the rocker cover. But as you can see in here, no burnt oil. I mean, this engine's only done 46,000 miles, which is incredible in itself over 21 years. But you'd expect to see some kind of burnt oil. This almost looks like it's never been above 2,000 RPM. It's absolutely staggering. It's actually on it's recently had a cam belt change, so it's on its 3rd cam belt, which is quite amusing given the 21 years. What else is under here? So we've drained the brake fluid, and we'll see why in a second. This car's going to be fully serviced before it leaves the garage. So there's quite a bit more work to do under here. New drive belts. New fluids, including gearbox oil, that kind of stuff. So it will get everything done to it before it leaves. So let's have a quick look round. Sorry about the jerky camera work. This is not exactly professional production. So under here, you'll see the brakes have all gone. The calipers are stripped and clean. They're about to be painted. There's new brake hoses going on, so there's some Goodrich stainless steel hoses to go in here. The suspension bushes at the front, some have been done already, so it's actually in a pretty good way, which is really nice. The ball joint's fine. The anti-roll bar links had corroded basically. They're not really worn out, but we're going to swap those, so we've got some new ones of those in. But that's it really here. The suspension's been replaced with some Tine, I'm not sure which one it is, coilovers, so they're going to be fully adjustable. So they'll be going in as well. Any bushes that need replacing, they'll be done. But so that's all stripped clean. So let's go to the back and look at some more serious stuff. So again, you see at the back here, the brakes have been stripped. The handbrake didn't work on this corner, and I've found that the rear calipers have been recently replaced. But I've no idea who fitted them, but basically they've made a complete hash of it. Used steel washers that were leaking fluid. The handbrake hadn't been set up correctly, so there's a procedure you need to go through when you have the calipers rebuilt to reset the handbrake, and that hadn't been done. So before I actually stripped it down, I actually checked everything out. The handbrake works fine, so then stripped everything back down again, just to make sure everything's okay. And we're going to give the calipers a fresh coat of paint and put them all back on. The thing that I'm going to be doing for the next couple of weekends is dealing with some of this rust. Now, the outside of the car, if you can see here, again the camera work's not great, the arches are absolutely fine. And in fact, if you look down here on the end of the sill, normally on these cars, I mean, I was looking at these cars about 15 years ago, and where my finger, around here and around where these clips go in for the side skirt, they normally rust everywhere, and this just hasn't happened. We've got a little bit of surface corrosion here. I'm going to grind this back, treat it and repaint it anyway, but the inner arches are a different matter altogether. So you can see here there's very little underseal on these arches. Now, given that the weather in the UK and the fact that we use salt on the roads, not ideal. And you can see, if we can try and get a focus round here, you might just see somebody's actually made a start grinding the arch lip, so that's going to need painting again. But you'll see in here there's quite a lot of well, holes basically where the metalwork has just gone through. There we go, you can see the one at the back a little bit more clearly there. But that basically goes round the whole arch, so I need to have a think about how I'm going to retub these arches out, but it shouldn't be too difficult. I've got some sheet steel, we'll cut it up and we'll fix all that. So let's just look on the other side, and there we go, there's the closing panel. Somebody's actually made a start with this. The previous owner, looks like they've made a start with these closing panels. So they've cut that out, but I'm going to redress all this and have a good look through it and make sure it's all okay. So we've got some rust up there. Let's try and get some light on that. So yeah, you can see here, I'll probably end up, just blocking the camera, so when my hand is here, I'm probably going to take out a 2-inch strip, 3-inch strip all the way up this panel and right the way round to the back on both sides, and tidy all that up and just basically weld in some fresh metal. Zinc treat it, underseal it, and that should be good for another 20 years, maybe longer, who knows. So we've got that on both sides of the car, so I have got some work to do, but you know, that's what you get with a 21-year-old car that's been living in the UK most of its life on the coast, so it's obviously been attacked underneath by sea air. If you have a quick look underneath, I have done some cleaning under here. You'll see there is some surface corrosion, but everything's solid. I can't find anything else under the car that needs welding, but it does need some severe work with the flap disc and wire brushes and those kind of things, just to get this tidied up. So yeah, some work to do, but all looking good. One last thing to look at is really just a little something. The VTI and the SIR model in Japan came with these little map lights in the door, and managed to pick up a pair on eBay quite cheaply, which is quite nice. I need to wire these in because this particular model didn't come with the wiring inside the doors, but that's a 10-minute job, that's no problem. So I've got my multimeter ready to pick out some a positive feed, a switch positive feed for that, and we can get that all set up, and that's going to look a nice little finishing touch. So there's a few other bits and pieces going on with the car, but that's where we're up to. So next update, we'll hopefully see some of this welding done, and we'll get onto the servicing work. So please check back and we'll keep you updated. See you soon.